Jenni Walke. I'm from Elephant in the Room Consulting. I'm here in sunny Brisbane, and I'm so excited to be here with Kylie Mowbray-Allen, my digital BFF, which is an appropriate conversation today, isn't it, Kylie? Because we're talking digital marketing. Tell us a bit about where you're from.
It sure is. I'm from Hello Media, and we're a digital agency that helps businesses and entrepreneurs get visible online and make it manageable, not overwhelming with all the things to do.
I've been thinking about the way that you describe yourself about in terms of what you do. And it's so funny because digital marketing is such a massive thing, isn't it? It's like, to me, digital marketing itself is like the Encyclopedia Britannica. You know, when the guy would come to the front door and be like, do you want all of this? Or do you just want the animal books? Or do you just want the astronomy books? Or do you want all of it? And it's there's so much to it and so much depth and so many ways that you can slice and dice the information that you can see why people get a little bit like about digital marketing, but you make it so simple. And that's what I mean, in the last 18 months when we've spoken, you make it so simple, and you have that kind of ability to say, hey, it's okay, let's build this website, let's do this thing, and people just resonate. And I love it. So this is going to be such a fun conversation today for me.
Thanks, Jenni. So our topic of the day is, how can we use digital marketing to grow? And I'd like to ask you the question, in your business, Jenni, how do you use digital marketing?
Probably not as good as I should. I just have to put the caveat, I have the expert in the room, right? So for me, I use digital marketing predominantly to get visible and to help people recognize and to learn a little bit about me. So I use it in a number of ways. My website, which we're just doing a revamp on. We obviously the social media engagement. I also use it for things like email marketing, as well as lead generation and call to actions. But then I have a question. To me, Zoom is part of digital marketing. When I run a webinar online, to me, that's part of my promotion, my marketing program. So I call that digital marketing. Do you include that in your digital marketing plan?
So yes, because digital marketing in a little nutshell is about how you're seen online, or how your business is seen online, or your brand is seen online. So it's all the things. It's your SEO, it's your blogs, it's your Google My Business, it's your Instagram, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your TikTok. It's all those things. It's also your you and I showing up here right now. That's part of our digital marketing strategy, which is getting visible, sharing and giving so people can grow more, etc. So yeah, it's all part of the thing. And I think that's part of the problem, is that it's such a broad topic and it gets incredibly confusing. So when people say I'm a digital marketing strategist, actually what they really might be is a social media expert, or a Facebook expert, or an Instagram expert, but they're not a digital marketing strategist, because that's helping businesses look at their overall way of that they show up online. So I think that's the most important thing, is clarity around what even is it.
I love that. I just changed my webpage. If you haven't seen my webpage for a while, I've just changed my webpage, and literally the front page now says clarity is the answer to everything.
Yeah,
that's what it says on the front page of my website now, because it's so important. But what I loved about what you said then is, to me, when I think about strategist, I think about that person who looks at the big picture, who sees it all, but doesn't necessarily know how to actually action and take and do all the little steps. They may know the moving parts, they may know how to do that, but they may not actually know how to drive the bus or change the tire, or those little details. And so what I love, again, we talk, and I feel like it's kind of the Love Kylie show, which I love today because we've spent so much time talking about business, but you do both. You help people understand the importance of the strategy that we go to, what you need to do, and that big picture. But then you can also get down in the weeds when someone says, how do I post on Instagram, and how do I make this Canva thing work, and what is in video? Like, that's what I love, is that breadth. And I think we often miss that, don't we, with digital marketing, is that it's not just about the doing, it's the conversation around the what and the why you do it, and that strategy piece that really opens the door to us.
Absolutely. So on the whole, you know how, excuse me, pretty much you will know in your business, when people come to you, they're going to have one of 3 or one of 5 problems, because that's your realm. It's exactly the same with me. I know that there's going to be one of 5 things that they're really, really struggling with. Sometimes it's all 5 things, but on the whole, it's very rare that someone would surprise me with something completely that I haven't heard of as a problem before.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest ones is overwhelm, and feeling like Sometimes it's that they don't know how to do it, or they don't want to do it, or it's just way too much. Whichever one of those, it all comes under the overwhelm banner. So I feel like my job is to reduce their overwhelm, show them a really clear path and a strategy to follow, for example. So we'll create a strategy together, then we'll work out a timeline of when they can do it. Because if I said to you right now, okay, you need to do 7 posts a week on Instagram that need to be different to your 7 posts a week on Facebook. You need to be in groups every single day, getting yourself visible. You also need to, and that's just your social media, let alone all the, and plus you need to spend 10 minutes a day minimum engaging on as your accounts, et cetera, et cetera. Like that alone, without even talking about newsletters and all the other things and updates on your website. And, you know, yeah, totally. Of course, everyone's just like, no. So what we do is we just pull it all back and we go, what's the first thing we need to do? We need to look at your branding. Branding is totally part of digital marketing, because the branding is what the face of your business is as you put it out there. So unless we've got your, well, not just obviously your colors and your fonts and your logo and all of that, but it's, you know, so much about your words that you're using, because once you've got clarity around your branding and particularly those words, then you can actually start writing some posts.
Yeah.
And then we'll think about where will we be putting them, where, and not so much what do you like? Do you like being on Instagram? The point is, where is your audience? Where are your dream clients or customers? Are they on those platforms? So that's the main thing, is that peeling it right back and starting again, even if they're a business that's been going for 10 or 20 years, peeling it back, starting again and going, this is our best way forward, and then creating a strategy through that. Like, it's amazing how many people will say to me, don't want to do emails. I don't like getting them, and so I'm not going to send them out. And yet, boom, we organize a little newsletter, have a beautiful template for it, so it makes it easier for them going forward. And wow, just got sales overnight. Couldn't believe it.
And
you
I
know,
so doing that with a client many years ago who said, look, we don't do digital, you know, they'd been in business for many, many years, and they hadn't sent a newsletter out to their customers for over sort of 3 or 4 years. And we just, and you know, I don't have the kind of, I'm good with the words, as you know, we talk about the words. So we created an email for them, and it was only a small amount, but we got something like, I think, $800 in sales, and it's a small consumable product. And so, but we got $800 in sales in the first week of sending out that email. And so
brilliant.
It was that, and I know that's only a small amount, but when you go, well, you haven't sent anything, that's $800 that's waiting for you to buy. That's waiting for someone to spend because you weren't in front of them, isn't it? And that's, so how does digital marketing actually, what's the value of getting in front of people? I guess that's what I want to know, because a lot of people go, oh, it's okay, word of mouth, referral, that's my favorite strategy. I don't need to do this visibility thing.
Well, that's an excellent question. And it all comes around about thinking, and what you and I talk about a lot is, what do you want to earn? What are your goals? What are your dreams with the business, etc.? So say you wanted to up your prices, you wanted to, you know, up your product prices or up your service offerings or whatever, and bring in some more money. So you would have a little look at, what, you know, firstly, of course, all those questions around what do I think I'm worth? What are people prepared to pay? All that kind of stuff. Yeah. But then we've got to look at, where are you getting visible? Because you might have the most extraordinary degrees, you know, 2 masters and a PhD and experience doing this and blah, blah, that. But if people don't know you exist, then no one's going to be prepared to pay the money, are they? So it's not even just about the money. It's all about, you know, in which direction do you want to grow, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. You can't get customers unless people know about you. You can't get clients to work with you unless they know about you. So the more that you can find a way that sits well with you, that resonates with you. For example, I'm not going to do 20 Instagram lives a day, even though that's a great strategy to grow quickly and get people to know you. It doesn't sit right with me, so I'm not going to do it. So for me, it's about finding the ways that works for the client, pushing them a little out of their comfort zone, but not making it so uncomfortable that they're just not going to do it. And then, well, as soon as they can start getting more visible, then they're going to be able to realize, well, I'm getting a bit more well known in my area. I'm being able to show my expertise. Therefore, I can charge that bit more, or I can, you know, get fully booked, or whatever it is that they're trying to do.
Yeah, I love that. And I think it's because often we forget that connection. And what I loved in you, and I think this is why we talk about why we're friends, is that idea that it's actually about a strategy that suits them. Because of course, if your clients don't want to do it, they might do it for a week, they might do it for 2 weeks, they may even do it for a month. But as soon as you step away from working with them, they won't do it because it doesn't resonate with them and it doesn't align with whether it's their business structure or the values or the way they want to work. So having a digital marketing program that allows you to actually connect and show you is so important. So tell me how digital marketing helps our business grow. I know a lot of people ask this question, but I'm really interested in what those key things are, that why it helps us grow, not just from the visibility section, but how else can we actually use digital marketing to our best effect?
Let's just use one part of it as an example. We'll use email marketing. So for starters, one email address is worth more than 100 followers on Instagram, really, because it's going to sit there in that inbox and not be deleted, as opposed to social media. You can put so much time and effort and get caught up so much in the vanity metrics and things, but actually, who are you reaching? So when you send it out to your email database, it sits in that inbox until they choose to delete it, or in the junk file, but they'll still find it and eventually delete it or read it. So of course that subject line needs to be so important. But how that's going to grow is how that's going to help you grow your business is that if you think about how hard it is to get a client or get a customer, it'll be a lot of marketing that goes on to get them to book that discovery call or get on your website and buy that product, for example. And so once you've got them, then why would you just let them go and not have any more communication with them? It blows my mind how much I buy online and I never even get a follow-up with her asking me for a review or anything. It's like I never even existed. However, I bought something online last night and I'm really hoping my daughter's not watching this, but it was this birthday thing. She's so cute. She sends me a Google Doc with a bit of a birthday ideas list.
I love it.
Links to where I could go and buy those things from. So last night, and I'm not going to mention the business name, but that was my third interaction with them that had been terrible from the very beginning. So they'd given me a discount code when I signed up. I tried to use it, it wouldn't work. And it was substantial what I was buying. So, it was like 25% off, but it was well over $400 was what I was trying to get. So, you want that discount code to work if they're offering it. So they couldn't. And I put something else in the cart and still it wasn't working. The email that I got back from them said, "We're very busy. We'll respond to you within 5 to 7 days." I'm like, what the? Really? So anyway, 5 days later, sure enough, I got the email from them saying, sorry for the delay. And actually the discount code only works if you're buying one thing. As soon as you buy more, it doesn't work. What? And then he was quite rude. You should have seen that in the FAQs. And I was like, no, I didn't go and read
FAQs.
I'm on my phone trying to just buy a bunch of stuff. And whoa, that's outrageous. I've never, ever heard of not doing a discount across the thing, but on one product. And I assumed he must mean, only one product was on sale. But no, you could use it on any product, but only one. So very, very, very confusing. So then last night, then I finally, went and made the purchases, etc. Then they turned it all around. They were definitely all about keeping me on. And this is where they started to shine and do a good job. Is that as soon as I bought it, it was a little bit like how Vistaprint does that. If you order the next thing within 10 minutes, you get it for this or whatever. And they had that kind of a thing going on. Nice. But they literally offered me another one for half price. So I was like, how can I not, Then I jump into my emails and there's another link to this. There's another discount. If you need one for a friend now, use this discount, but it only lasts for 24 hours. And I was like, so you're really good with your automated, you just haven't really nailed your customer service in the front end. Service. Really. So that was an interesting thing for me. But my point being though, is that once you've got that customer, which is the hardest bit, obviously, that first bit, keeping them is so important. So if you're not sending out emails and if you're not connecting with them and telling them about the next thing and bringing them into your tribe and community and, hey, join my Facebook group, and hey, did you know that you can, like say if you sold essential oils, what about putting essential oils in Play-Doh? Here's a recipe for Play-Doh. And use your essential oils in that. So about, giving, not just selling. But even that to me is just such a simple thing to do, to market to those people that have already bought from you before or already booked your services and keep them on board on your journey with you. So, it's just about that customer journey funnel, isn't it? But keeping them engaged with you. So what's the point of just doing one sale, like majority of my online shopping, and then there's nothing more coming from me? oh, isn't that strange? I think that's strange not to want to service the people that you've already got.
And
so to
I
me,
think it's
how you to help grow.
I wonder, and I wonder what, I guess it's a really interesting question. What's coming to mind when we're saying that is that it's how people view their customers, isn't it? It's whether people view their customers as a one-off transaction. And I imagine it in the days when someone would walk into a shop. So you can walk into Westfields or whatever the local shopping centre you have, Stocklands or Lendlease. You walk in and you walk into a shop and someone serves you and it's great. And then you leave and you're like, well, I bought what I wanted to buy and there's like no engagement at all. So if you go back there or not, if you go back to that shopping center, you may remember to go to that store, but it's not going to, not going to grab you. Versus my partner and I bought a television last week and we have, a big box television place, discounts. They do everything. There's one up the road from us, 2 kilometers up the road, but we happen to be north side of Brisbane. We were in the middle of nowhere. But we get all the emails and we went in, but the service they provided, the guy that was there answered all our questions. We actually went to lunch with our friends and then came back and bought this television, which barely fit in my car, from the north side of town and drove it all the way back to Carina because we valued the service he gave us and the fact that he was willing to spend time and make us feel, welcome, and that we became more than. And when we told him we were from here, he's like, oh, you could just buy it locally. And we're like, no, we want to buy it from you. And so that's the feeling I want to get when I have digital marketing. I want to feel loved. And we often forget, don't we, that email can make you feel engaged and make people feel special when you send that, even though it's automated, but the 10% off or the 20% off birthday email that you get from everywhere. I haven't been an iNet customer for probably 3 years and I still get their email on my birthday saying, happy birthday, Jenni. And which is crazy. And I probably should unsubscribe from them. But 3 years later, and I know that's automated, but there's something kind of fun when I open my emails around my birthday and I have this little dude dancing, giving me a birthday wish. And that's what makes you feel like, oh, I'll remember when I want to change again, I might use them again, right?
Yeah, that's such a good point because that just reminded me. We refinanced our home about 8 years ago and I've had no need to be dealing with that guy ever since, but I get a physical birthday card in the mail and every now and then a call from one of his, staff saying, do you want to look at remortgaging? Can we get you a better deal? So I don't feel like they're selling to me. They're wanting to help me and they're just constant little bit of contact. So when that comes up and I think, oh, okay, let's have a chat about refinancing again or something, then I'm going to go straight to him because he's front of mind because he's kept me in his arms embrace in a way, and so even though it's not been through a Facebook group or anything, but it's been reaching out in regular emails, regular newsletters. Like he'll do newsletters that are just giving value. So let's talk about, interest rate increases. Let's talk about what's going on with the property market, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So it's very intriguing watching how he has dealt with that. And I don't even know what social media has because I'm not following it or anything, but what he's doing in the other area, and which is a prime example of why you can't just rely on your social media and the updates that you're doing on that, because it could be like me and not even following him. But what I'm getting in the other form is great. And every now and then I'll go through to his website because there was something interesting there that led to a blog post. So remembering that it's not just about social media, it's your entire strategy overall. Like, for example, updating your website. How much traffic you're going to notice now, Jenni, that you're doing an overhaul of the website. So Google's like, yay, fresh content. That's wonderful. And so they really help you in that journey and to, getting closer to number one and getting more traffic there because of the fresh content.
And I think that's the piece that we forget. It's that fresh content. It's the connection. It's the, hey, hello, how's your day been? And I always like to think of, and I think the way that I love digital marketing and how it can help us make things, automates us. It allows us to do things more efficiently. But when we're doing, and I know a lot of people that I speak to go, oh, digital marketing, it feels very cold and arm's length and not about me. But what people forget is that we spend a lot of time thinking about what we're going to put into that digital marketing piece. There is an intention to share. There's an intention to add value. So that shows up in what we're reading. And I think when we look at digital marketing, when you've talked about this before with social media, what are you trying to get? What is the engagement you're trying to get through your social media? The same questions apply to digital marketing, don't they, with regards to website, particularly email mail outs and any other digital form that you engage with?
Absolutely. So the why are you doing it? The how, the who, all those things. Who are you sending it to? Why are you doing it? How are you going to do it? So basically exactly what I learned at journalism school, the 5 W's and the H. I'm having a momentary lapse. But if you cover those and put that out, so it's not necessarily in your post, but thinking about who is it that I'm writing for? Who is it that I want to come into my fold? Why am I doing this? When will I do it? When will I post? Will it be at a time that suits me? Or will I actually look at my insights and then schedule some posts so that they go out at optimum times, for example?
Yeah, definitely. And I think, and when we look at the strategy and what's so interesting, particularly with things like Clubhouse, I know we've talked about Clubhouse as a digital marketing, because it's now forming part of many people's digital marketing strategies. And I've had lots of conversations this week with people about how they feel about Clubhouse. For me, I feel like a lot of it is a very large infomercial. And so sometimes when I'm on the call, I'm like, yeah, this is interesting and I'm loving it, but I'm just waiting for them to do like the soft sales pitch towards the end, because I can see that's what's coming through the conversation, versus some of the other rooms that I've been listening to, which are really just, hey, we're here to chat, let's talk, other people come in, and there's this really community and conversation piece. But now looking at, if there's one piece of digital marketing strategy that people haven't got, what's the most important one other than social media that you think people should be focusing on in the next couple of months for their business to help it grow?
Freshening up their site. So if you think about it, and I think of it like a sunshine. So the middle part of the sunshine is your website, and then all those beautiful rays that come out are all the other parts of your digital marketing. So everything you do, from email marketing to social media, etc., it all is aiming to drive traffic to your website. But when they get there, they're just going to bounce off if it's not actually giving them what they need immediately, or it's confusing or any of that. So what we want to do when we get them to the website is then convert them. So, and I don't mean in a religious sense, for example, but, getting them to buy your book, or, whatever it is that we're wanting them to do, or learn more, etc. So if they come to the site, if you're constantly looking at your site and refreshing it and looking at it with fresh eyes, getting other people to do an audit of it. I always recommend people to do an audit using Loom, for example. So Loom's this free software that you can record your screen and you talking about it. So much easier than writing it out, saying, oh, well, I think on this page here, there's a few words that didn't make sense. Way easier if you just Loom video it. And you can ask, it literally can take you just 5 minutes. So if you ask a bunch of friends, can you take a little look at my website and be harsh, be constructive. And then if you can just once a week spend a little bit of time zhushing it up, putting in some new content, putting in a blog. And as you know, from a blog, you've got many, many social media posts and something for your newsletter. So that would be my top tip for now, would be updating your website and giving it a little bit of a fresh facelift.
And that's so important, because so often you see websites that have been the same website for so long, and they spend so much time worrying about what information they want to put on it. And I know I've done this with clients, talking to them about content on their website, when they say, I want to include this. I'm like, but who cares? Like, I don't care, and I'm a potential client. And if I don't care, why do you think you need to tell me? So having that refresh and constantly looking at it. And I love that tip about getting, a number of friends to have a look at it and do that 5-minute Loom to give you that really honest feedback. Such a great opportunity to actually connect with people also, isn't it? To say, hey, I know you're in my fold and I trust you. Have a look at what I do on my website. So in actual fact, it's a really nice strategy to get people to move into the website and engage with you that way as well.
Absolutely. And then once you've got them there, of course, we can be collecting their email addresses. We can be offering them a lead magnet so that we can get it, or we can offer them a discount or whatever we want to get those email addresses, because then you can be targeting them in your email content. So it's all part of, I was going to say strategy again, but it's all part of this beautiful thing that's all interlinked and interwoven, but it's all coming to the site. So unless the site's ready for them, then the site's not going to perform. So there's no point spending money on Google ads or Facebook ads or whatever. If the things you're trying to get them to do, when they get there, they go, it's too confusing. I don't know what's going on here. And off I go. Like, honestly, I would not have persevered with that website, you know, with the thing for my daughter, had I not known that she just so desperately wanted it.
Now you've bought more than you wanted, and you have a discount code to buy a third one when you need it.
Well, just secretly, I bought one for me and one for Richard also, so that we can be the whole matching family.
So it shows you how digital marketing and the strategies work, particularly on people who are ready to buy. That's beautiful.
I was so annoyed with myself because that disappointed me so much with their terrible customer service. But I was like, oh.
Damn it, but I want the product. I love it. So Kylie, you do a lot of workshops with clients, with customers and clients, to show them how to use their digital marketing. And you've got some stuff coming up next week, haven't you?
Yeah, that's a great one. So it's a 3-day masterclass of grow your own website. So it doesn't matter if you've already got one, because it's a great chance to overhaul it. So we go through everything from keyword research to how you'd weave the keywords through your content, to then actually building the site. And then we move into how to drive traffic to your site. And then the final section is all about how to convert that traffic. And it's not 3 days in a row, so it goes over a number of weeks. So it's, you know, bits here and there. So you've got time to work on it in between times. But what's interesting, Jenni, as you know, I'm doing the complete restructure of the business. So this is the last, there's 3 more masterclasses, that one and 2 others, that are the last where they're open to the public. And after that, it's only open to clients. So yeah, that's very exciting. And so we're nearly fully booked. We only have 6 people in. I think we've got 1 spot left. So yeah, so that's starting next Wednesday. And I love it. I really love watching you start with this and then you end up with these beautiful sunflowers.
I love it. So you're planting the seeds on day 1 and growing a beautiful flower by the end of it. I love it. And so
or you're coming with your seedlings, or even a wilted flower, and then you're coming and then we're refreshing and making it all beautiful.
Making a beautiful garden bed. There you go.
Yes, there you go.
We can find you at hellomedia.team. Is that right, on Facebook and your website?
That is right. On Facebook, it's hellomedia.dream.team. And Instagram, it's hellomedia.team, and website, hellomedia.team. And how about you, Jenni? What's happening in your world and how can people connect?
So for me, we have two core programs. We have the flagship Business Owners Mastermind, where we focus on all the structure and strategy and getting clarity around how to run the business and get all the foundations for the business, as well as our individual coaching sessions around content, as well as business structure, essentially on a weekly accountability calls or fortnightly accountability calls. But you can find me at Elephant in the Room AU, so at Elephant in the Room AU on Instagram and Facebook, and the website eitrconsulting.com. But always find me through Facebook. Easy to find me, see my posts, see what we're doing, and connect with our communities, because we both have some beautiful communities that all of us want to share, learn, and build this kind of business thing that we're doing, going on this adventure together that we've been on. So yeah, connect with us on that.
Yay, I totally look forward to that, Jenni. And in terms of our topic for next week, I would love it if we did one of your topics from our retreat that we did. And if you've got ideas, that's cool. But I was wondering, what about that whole onboarding process?
Happy. Let's talk about onboarding clients. I love it. Happy to do that. Sounds awesome.
Yay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I look forward. Done. Yeah. I look forward to seeing you next week.
I look forward to seeing you.
Yay. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. Thanks.
And make sure everyone, you've got one more spot. Get onto Kylie's build your own website or grow your own website, because it's definitely a good way to kickstart your business for this next quarter.
Yay. Thanks, Jenni. Have a great day and a great weekend.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.